The Gaza Strip is one of the most densely populated places on Earth, and it didn't happen naturally. Just a sliver of land, barely 25 miles long, it's about the same size as the island of Grenada, but has 20 times the population. Gaza's name shows up in headlines for all the wrong reasons, and has for decades, even as Gazan Palestinians are largely stuck within the Strip's confines. Which raises a simple question. Why does this woeful, isolated place even exist? The answer to that surrounds the great Middle Eastern conflict of the last century between Israel and the Arabs. But Gaza is an ancient city, biblically ancient. The modern Strip roughly corresponds with the land of the Philistines, likely Greek or Phoenician settlers, who neighbored the Jewish kingdoms of Israel and Judah in the Iron Age. It's part of the region which has been known as Palestine since the Roman era, and Semitic peoples, like Arabs and Jews, have lived there since prehistory. By the 1st century AD, the Israelites and all of the eastern Mediterranean fell under Roman rule, and after several failed Jewish revolts, many Jews were expelled, contributing enormously to most living in a worldwide diaspora. In the intervening 2 millennia, though, Palestine was repopulated by other Semitic groups who became recognizable as modern Arabs around the expansion of Islam out of Arabia some 1400 years ago. In a movement known as Zionism, since the end of the 19th century, Jews have returned en masse to their historic point of origin, and come into conflict with the Arabs already living there. To an extent, that was facilitated by the British Empire, which took over the British Mandate of Palestine from Ottoman Turkey after World War I. During the war, Britain had committed to creating a Jewish homeland in the region, but simultaneously promised eventual independence to the Arabs and ultimately split the Greater Levant between themselves and the French. Intercommunal tensions over Jewish immigration and land rights in Palestine threatened to boil over throughout most of the 20-year British mandatory period, and London withdrew in 1948. The United Nations proposed partitioning the territory into a Jewish state, Israel, and one for Palestinian Arabs, with Jerusalem as an international city. The city of Gaza would have been part of the Arab-Palestinian state, but no one much liked the UN plan. No Arab state voted for it, and when the Israelis declared independence, the entire former mandate was invaded by Arab powers intent on Israel's destruction. The partition plan fell to pieces, and under David Ben-Gurion, the first Arab-Israeli war was won by Israel. Surrounded by enemies, the Israelis paid little heed to the UN lines, at the expense of hundreds of thousands of Palestinian Arabs, or just Palestinians. Most Arabs in Israel fled, either to the West Bank, which was annexed by Jordan, or into a strip of land along the Mediterranean, anchored by the city of Gaza, where Egyptian forces had dug in before an armistice was agreed between Israel and Egypt in 1949. That formally informalized the outcome. So Egypt took administrative control of the Gaza Strip, but didn't formally annex it, nor offer citizenship to the Palestinians living there. Gaza's population was engorged by Palestinian refugees from areas that became a part of Israel, and the Egyptians kept the Strip under military rule. Its status was deliberately left unresolved, pending a final settlement for Palestinians that, spoiler alert, hasn't come as of yet. As for why not, well, the Strip and its people have been stuck in political limbo since the 1948 war. By international law, Gaza and the West Bank should constitute a Palestinian Arab state beside Israel. In practice, though, a functioning Palestinian state has never existed. In the 1950s, Gaza became a prop for pan-Arabists like the Egyptian leader Gamal Abdel Nasser, reflecting sentiment across the Arab world that a single Palestinian state should cover the entire former mandate. Gaza was briefly captured by Israel during the Suez Crisis. Then they withdrew and Egypt ruled it for another decade. When the Six-Day War broke out in 1967, it was conquered again by the Israelis, along with the West Bank, Syria's Golan Heights, and Egypt's Sinai Peninsula. That spurred on an insurgent resistance led by the Palestinian Liberation Organization and its chairman Yasser Arafat. Gaza became a focal point of the first Palestinian Intifada in the late 1980s, and Israel actually withdrew completely from the Strip after a second Intifada in the 2000s. In theory, leaving constituted a step towards Palestinian statehood. A peace process between the PLO and Israel, the Oslo Accords, had created a recognized Palestinian authority to work with the Israeli occupation. In practice, withdrawal was bungled. When Israel left Gaza, the Islamist group Hamas took over from the PLO, pledged itself explicitly to Israel's destruction, and has ruled there ever since. Unable to control Gaza, but also unable to leave Hamas to its own devices, Israel cut off the Strip from the world, and the two have waged periodic wars ever since. To find out more about Gaza, Israel, and the Arab world, you should see what caused the Suez Crisis of 1956 in the video to the left. I think you'll enjoy it if you like this video. And as always, I've been James, and thanks for watching Look Back History.